Biden administration, the warmongering psychopath administration that came in 4 years ago, this is their final 3 days. So they're all doing their little farewell speeches. I don't know if you guys saw, what's her name? The press secretary did a little boo-hoo, tearful moment. They're all doing the little farewell. I'm out. I killed enough people for 4 years. I'm out. Well, Antony Blinken was especially a special type of sociopathic, warmongering, evil, that beyond some of the other ones. I mean, so he was one that this was very good timing that we could get this to happen. That when I say we, I mean we support Max Blumenthal and his efforts and all the people that helped get this to happen. So here it is. Without further ado, I actually have the 3 camera shots edited together. Somebody put all 3 together so you can see Antony Blinken's reaction. You can see Max Blumenthal's point of view and a shot on Max, all edited together. Watch this. Max is getting officially this week the bonus Loudest Voice of the Week award. Here we go.
Even greater respect, even greater appreciation for you asking the tough questions, for you holding us to account, being on the receiving end. Sometimes that's not always the most comfortable thing, not always the most enjoyable thing, but it is the most necessary thing.
300 reporters in Gaza were on the receiving end of your bombs. Why did you keep the bombs flowing when we had a deal in May?
I'm happy to address
questions.
questions.
We all knew we had a deal. Everyone in this room knows we had a deal, Tony, and you kept the bombs flowing.
I'm happy to address
Why did you
questions when we get a
sacrifice the
chance. Thank you.
rules-based order on the mantle of your commitment to Zionism? Why did you allow my friends to be massacred? Why did you allow my friends' homes in Gaza to be destroyed when we had a deal in May? You helped destroy our religion, Judaism, by associating with fascism. You waved the white flag before Netanyahu. You waved the white flag before Israeli fascism.
I look forward to taking questions when I get a chance to finish my statement.
Your father-in-law was an Israel lobbyist. Your grandfather was an Israel lobbyist. Are you compromised by Israel? Why did you allow the Holocaust of our time to happen? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? How does it feel to have your legacy be genocide? You too, Matt. You smirk through the whole thing every day. You smirk through a genocide.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Decensored News for putting those 3 shots together so we can see the whole experience. Now, I'm being made aware, and I have not seen this one. This is what I'm going to do here, because Sam Husseini, as Craig said earlier in the show, was part of this multipolar attack. And I say attack in the sense that this is how you confront the people in power. You have to do it like this. Jose Vega has talked to us about this on the show several times. How do you do this? You do it sometimes you have to do it as a team. Now, I'm getting word here because I haven't seen this one. This is going to be a surprise to me. I'm tagging on this one from Sam Husseini, who will be on Truthwire tomorrow, which we just got word from Craig and Fee. So please watch him on Truthwire. He'll be able to explain this. But we're going to watch this for the first time if you guys have not seen it yet.
He said simply, we are being reborn. It's also a moment of historic possibility.
You can leave, sir. You want to come with us right
Again,
now?
I'm happy to address questions.
No, I want him to answer my questions.
I look forward to answering questions.
He's going to speak for an hour.
Okay, well, we'll let him speak. We'll hear from him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gets to make lots of speeches.
Thank you.
I answer some
I'd like to
questions.
be escorted
I look
out.
forward to answering questions. Thank you.
Instead of making another speech every
Sir,
day.
would you like to be escorted out?
Go away.
You don't have to tell me where to go. You want to be escorted out or not?
I will
Thank
answer
you.
questions.
I look forward to answering questions in a minute.
I'm a journalist. I'm not a potted plant.
Everyone will have an opportunity to ask questions in just a minute. Thank you.
Miller has explicitly told me he will not answer my questions.
Thank you.
I'm justified in what I'm doing.
I have no greater pleasure in this job than crossing off a list I carry in my pocket, the names of those who have been arbitrarily detained and unfairly held hostage, unjustly held hostage, and bringing them home, returning them to their families, returning them to their loved ones. Finally,
Get your hands off me.
this morning,
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Answer a damn question. Do you know about the Hannibal Directive? Do you know about Israel's nuclear weapons? Everybody from the ICJ. I was sitting here quietly, and now I'm being manhandled by 2 or 3 people. You pontificate about a free press. You pontificate about a free press. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. You are hurting me. I am asking questions after being told by Matt Miller that he will not answer my questions until I'm asking questions. Wasn't the point of the May 31st statement to block the ICJ orders? You blocked the ICJ orders.
Please, sir, respect the process. Thank you.
Oh, respect the process. Respect the process. Well, everybody from Amnesty International, from Amnesty International to the ICJ saying that Israel's doing genocide and extermination, and you're telling me to respect the process. Criminal! Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague? Why aren't you in The Hague?
So you turn around? No, turn around.
Finally, we've worked to modify.
Wow. Yeah, Jamie, yes, that was way more disturbing, because as I'm kind of piecing this together now, he didn't even do the disruption that Max did, and apparently they just went right at him. That's insane. I'm kind of speechless here. Let's Jamie, if you have this, there's a tweet where we see how from Jordan of talking about how CNN framed. Of course, CNN did not cover this correctly. I'll bring this up here if you have that on the screen there. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it looks like, okay, so this is how CNN framed it. Cringeworthy heckling by activists. Okay, yeah, let's see. I can't believe it. Okay, go ahead.
As you heard, he was repeatedly interrupted by some cringeworthy heckling by activists. So, I mean, we were both sitting here pretty stunned, frankly. This is supposed to be a press conference with a room of journalists. Those were activists who were interrupting the Secretary of State when he initially was thanking the press and talking about the Israeli-Hamas deal.
Yeah, I think it's really surprising. A lot of our viewers will have seen protests on Capitol Hill, for example, during confirmation hearings, but it's very rare for something like that to happen at the State Department. I'm over there all the time in that briefing room, and you need to have a reason to be at the State Department. You need to have an appointment. You need to have press accreditation to come and go. So it's unclear who those people were. So I think there's a real security question there. Allow me to be cheesy for a moment. This is unclear. A testament to American democracy and the way that American administrations approach their press rooms. They give accreditation to a wide number of journalists, and increasingly what I would call less mainstream journalists, more opinion journalists, who have the opportunity to go to the State Department, to go to the White House, and to ask questions of the representatives of that administration. So I'm always amazed by whenever I go to these different press rooms about who's actually sitting there. It's not just Americans, it's people from all over the world, from Turkey, from China, from South Korea, who get to ask questions of people like Matt Miller at the State Department or Karine Jean-Pierre at the White House. And so there's a relatively open policy for now in these different press rooms.
No, that's not okay. That is not okay. We know to expect this shit. We know to expect them to lie and to deceive and to manipulate when these things happen. But that is especially cruel. Pretending they don't know who these people are, pretending they don't know what they represent, the gray zone. I mean, you got Max Blumenthal, you got Sam Husseini, for crying out loud. These are guys. These aren't just they just let the riffraff in. They don't check credentials. So you're saying that so CNN's take is that the State Department needs to be harsher on credentials and only let in state media that will champion them and not actually do journalism. Yeah. So why am I so upset now? We already know this. We already know this is their playbook. But this is this is it. This is the last few days of this psychopath administration who has started a genocide, has started a proxy war responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths in the last 4 years. And people told us that the big boys were coming in and they were going to take over in 2021 and the responsible adults were coming in the room to help run things. Yeah, right. Antony Blinken, we knew, was a warmonger coming in. And he needs to be yelled at. He needs to be pressured. He needs to be scolded for 4 years of tyranny and abuse of power and upward transfer of wealth and the murder of so many people. And you're not going to let these journalists at least be able to speak their mind. And you can disagree with them. You can challenge their opinion. But for CNN, how dare CNN pretend that this is riffraff coming in off the street and we don't know who they are and they did some horrible things. They didn't even play the clip. They didn't even play anything that Max said. They didn't play anything. They are presenting this to their viewers as if, oh, these people are just completely out of line, with no regard for what they were representing. All the murdered people, all the displaced people, all the children with limbs blown off their bodies. Nothing to say about that. With 3 days left of this disgusting, despicable, atrocious, just god-awful administration, probably the worst 4 years we've had in our entire history. These 4 years have been the most disgusting, appalling. And I'm not talking Democrat, Republican. Let's just forget all that shit. We're talking about neocon, neolib, warmongering, psychopath, Israel-funded, Israel-supported, just total maniacal sociopaths running our country, and they're doing it out in the open, and CNN champions it the whole way. F them for doing that. And kudos and really bravo, standing ovation to Max and to Sam. And we look forward to hearing more from them as far as what their experience was like doing this, and this is what they signed up for. So we know that, and we appreciate that. It takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of heroism to go in there. You know what you're going into, and you know, you can say this. They handled you. The manhandling that they did, totally inappropriate. Obviously, you have to be prepared for that. So bravo to you two and anyone else. And that's it. That's why you guys are both getting loudest voice of the week for doing the journalism we need from you, from the ground, from citizen journalism. Because the corporations, the corporate Pfizer-funded military-industrial complex, CIA backed media ain't doing it.